So we talk a lot. So welcome to the third part of Mia, Omar, me, Mimosa's talking about writing because it's something that we all love to do. So what are your guys' writing processes? Like, you know, your daytime cafe, your nighttime.
I'm a nighttime. And I like space. I like to act out. I read a lot of action stuff, so I like to just like move around, have like the action figures moving. She doesn't see it.
I'm in a cafe, so.
Oh, you're right. But it's during night.
It's at nighttime.
So you're like napping, and then he's just like, ha!
Yeah, he's crazy. Oh, he's crazy. He talks to himself. He acts out stuff.
That's why I can't work in cafes. Because
just,
I work in public and I will start talking, or I'm just the craziest person when I write because I'm like figuring things out with my hands.
I know what stage I do that, and I'm at home for that stage. And then when I'm like trying to get pages, I go to a cafe. I'm getting pages, and I put in headphones, but I don't have any music, so I just so I don't look crazy. Like, I have a lot of things to make myself not look crazy, and that style works for me. Where there's a point where I go to like an art library, I get an image book, and then I am crazy, and then I'm like, okay, now it's time to organize these thoughts, and I go to a cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
What do you guys feel about soundtracks? Like, I like to
you have
make
to
the
have a
soundtrack
mix.
and play for that scene. Like, I feel like
to.
so many crime scenes are just the Dark Knight soundtrack.
See, the problem is all of my soundtracks are the How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack. That's why all of my scripts are the same.
Just every script I do is Train Your Dragon over and over again.
It is. It's all
if you listen hard in my like noir fiction, you will find Training Dragons in there somewhere. I theme everything, so I am in that moment where it's just like I've written songs or like written fiction because I liked a song. So I'm like, oh, this is what this song is telling me, kind of thing. A lot of instrumental stuff, but it could be whatever, right? If I'm writing right now, I'm writing a noir fantasy.
What?
Yeah. Tumble that around in your head for a little bit. So the more I got into it, the more I really decided that should be my next project. And it's already like 25,000 words, so
nice.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But it requires such a weird mindset to be into. So I have to listen to like a lot of Go-Go Bordello and probably drink like whiskey of some kind and then sit down and become like a gruff detective who is
so your
also
natural state.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really more of a visual novel than anything else I've ever written. So every single, I need to know how everything tastes in this novel, right? I need to know what it smells like. If I touch it, is it warm or cold, right? Every single, it's such a visceral kind of thing that I'm working on.
One thing that I want to play with in terms of like filming, in terms of like creating like an environment for actors in a scene that would be interesting to pull into writing is also to play with scents. Because we have so many candles.
I don't know if anyone really like uses their sense of smell.
Right?
Like you do. Oh, do you?
Let's go back to talking about process for a second.
Yes.
Because I think that's really interesting. Where do you do your writing? Which we've talked about. I tend to do it alone. And then the second is how do you start? Do you do outlines? Do you do rewrites?
Yes, this is a good question.
Every person is different. If you find something that works for you, great. I know people who outline every single thing.
Yeah.
And I don't really do that so much. It's good to have just a general outline for me, but in my shorter work, I just throw it out there.
Yeah.
And I hate editing. There was actually one story in Echoes of Old Souls that I did not need to edit at all. There was not one thing I needed to change about it.
That's awesome.
I think I changed like a typo, and then I looked at it and I was like, no, that's wrong. There's something about that that's, you can't write perfect. And
no, you were in the zone.
I was, I guess. I feel really bad saying that.
No, that's good.
No, it's
I think
good
it's
because it's good to have. I feel like it's good to have different examples so that people don't feel like they're crazy when something's not working for them, but it seems to work for everybody. Like it's good to see other people share your.
And people are always like, "Oh yeah, like never release your first drafts," and I'm like, I totally agree because I wouldn't count these as first drafts. When I'm writing something longer, then that does require a hell of a lot of editing.
Yeah.
For short stories, you can kind of like, I'm less liable to screw up halfway through.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your process with us. Do you have any like last minute tips?
Honestly, all I can say is like is the good old catchphrase "right on." Just that's what you do. You keep writing, and whether it's for you or for anyone, whether you promote it or don't, whether you release it or not, whether it sucks or is great, it doesn't matter about any of those other things. It's right because writing.
Write because writing.
Right because writing.
Really? That's the one that we're going with? Oh my god.
Yep, it's there.
Mimosa. That is just the most memeified thing that I could ever say. It meant to be a joke, and now it's real.
It's so real.
You're gonna be the new
So
aliens
real.
guy, but for writing because writing.
Yeah.
Hashtag because writing.
Actually, capital B, C-U-Z, writing. Well,
That's good.
because,
Yeah, let's
That's
make
it.
that.
Actually,
Let's
that's
make that.
it.
because writing. I'm gonna tweet it as soon as I get out.
I'm gonna say thank you again so we can plug your channel.
Please go to my YouTube channel and my Tumblr. They are both under Nika Harper. Also, same on Twitter and Patreon. Please.
Yes. Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube,
Twitter,
Patreon,
all of-
Nika Harper, and Mimosas
Mimosas,
because
yeah.
writing.
Because writing. Bye.
Bye.